Hello guys. This is Zaptrocity, and this here is my Selectable Automatic Brewing Room version 2. Now, my old design doesn't work anymore due to the fact that some of the things with comparators and brewing stands changed, and also trap chests were activating some things. There were some minor bugs there, so I decided to fix them, and I've made the wiring a lot nicer and simpler. Got it to fit into a nice, simple looking room. So yeah, it's pretty simple. So if you haven't seen the previous design, feel free to check that out. Now here is the brewing room. I'll show you guys it in action. So all we need first off is to place our water bottles in these 3 chests. So I've hacked some water bottles in using slash give, and we can just throw in some water bottles in like this, like that. Oh, and we'll throw in the rest like so. There we are. So as you can see with the trap chests, I've had to push them in one block so that they wouldn't activate the droppers underneath. Unfortunately, we have to use that extra hopper to, move everything, and it has to be slanted. That's basically the only way we can really get this to get working and things without it getting, too crowded or anything and stuff like that. You could probably bring these in one block and change the droppers over there, but then the buttons would have to get rewired and all sorts of madness, which is quite annoying. So this brewing room doesn't produce billions and billions of potions at a time, because average Minecrafters don't have that many things. So let's throw in some nether wart too. And maybe we want a regen potion, so we can throw in some glistening melons there. Now here is our selected panel 2. So if they are facing down, it means it's turned off. So that means we have no gunpowder, no redstone, no glowstone, or no fermented spider eyes. So maybe we want instead of a potion of regeneration. Oh wait, there's a potion of healing. It will be a potion of harming. I flick it, and maybe a potion of harming 2, and a splash potion. Alright, so as soon as we push this button, everything should fire out. Then these ones get fired out, and everything comes down underneath where the magic happens. So I've set up a new timer due to the fact that the old one doesn't work anymore. This design is one by Panda on the JL server. There will be a link to his designs in the description. I've just modified it a little bit to fit into this little, to fit it in a little more tightly, and some extra things as this design's slightly different. So as soon as that finishes brewing, we can see it going. It looks like something weird was in there, clogging it up. I was doing some testing with it before. There we are. Everything's in there, getting ready to go through. And as soon as that's all finished done, we'll see it in action. And voila! You guys should have seen that. And it comes right down here. Pretty cool. So very, very simple. As you can see, I didn't use any dropper item elevators. They're a bit noisy and stuff, so it's pretty silent except for the fact that the droppers make a noise and the minecart makes a little noise. This can also be changed so that you can have like a little like bulk potion storage. So I've just got this lever here, and they'll suck all the items down into, I don't know, your own personal little bulk storage system if you really wanted one of those. So very simple, pretty compact, and today I'll show you guys how to build this today. So let's get right into the tutorial. Alrighty, so guys, these are the things you will need. So if we look in the chest here, we need 5 redstone torches, 11 redstone repeaters, 18 redstone comparators, and 27 redstone dust. Now this might change depending on how you want your own things. You might want less ingredients or more of this and less of this, so I don't know what's going on in your head, so that might change. You need your brewing stand to brew your things. 26 hoppers. Now this might change depending on how many ingredients you have. 14 droppers. This also will change. 4 levers, 7 buttons, which will also change. You need your water. blocks of your choice and slabs, and ice and signs are optional, but they do make the build a lot less bigger, and makes it things faster. So I do recommend having ice and signs in it. Item frames are also optional, and rails and minecarts are optional because you can use like dropper elevators to get your potions to wherever you want. But I do prefer to use the minecarts because they're cheaper and easier to set up, in my opinion. Alright, so I'll be using different colored wool as well to help you guys distinguish between the different parts of the brewing room. This here is just a brief overview of the things you might need, so you can take a look at that as well. Cool, so I think that's sorted for the things you need. Now let's get right into the tutorial. Okay, so guys, first off we need to find a nice location for it. This looks like a very nice place. This here is I think 16 by 10. That's the basic area you'll probably need. It can be probably shortened or probably lengthened depending on how many ingredients you have. So first off, I'm going to start building up in the air. This is going to make the underground wiring a little more easier for you guys to see and easier for me to build. So I'm just going to build up here. So here I'm going to start placing down my floor and whatever else. So right here is where I'm going to have my wall. As you can see, 3 blocks in, 1, 2, 3, then I have my wall. Alright, now this is where we're going to have our ingredients. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 levers there. That's where our the modifiers will be. And over here is where we'll have all our other things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 different ingredients in the game, like that. Alright, so we've got our buttons there and everything sorted. Now all we need to do is just carry that around like so. Cool. Now behind these buttons and levers we can put droppers. These droppers will be facing outwards, not downwards, outwards, like this, as you can see. So if we push this button, you can hear it fire. Now this goes with the levers too. And there you have it. Now on top of the droppers we want to have hoppers. Depending on how many ingredients you have and all that, this might be different to yours. Now we have to alternate here because there are the trap chests which do not like which like to power the droppers, so we have to alternate. So here we have it 1, 2, 1, 2. The other hopper is facing into this hopper that's facing downwards, as you can see. Now what we want to do is we want to use our regular chest and place it on top of the hopper, and another one facing outwards. Now the trap chest is going to face on this hopper and come out like that. And we're going to just repeat this pattern right along for all the chests. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now I'm just going to build a little border around that so things look a little nicer. That looks nice. Now over here is where we'll have our chest for netherwort. I've got a big double chest there for all the netherwort needs we have. A cool thing about the design is that if you need more space for ingredients, you can place a hopper on top and just place more chests so that you have more space to put more ingredients. So there you have it. So double the amount of space you actually need. Now over here I'm going to have my output chest for all my potions I get, 2 blocks apart. So you can see here, this is our netherwort chest and this is our output chest. Pretty cool. So we can place item frames along here. This covers up the hoppers and it makes it, item frame and item frame. And it makes it look a lot nicer. You can also use signs, but I prefer item frames. So we might do this over here too. Just throw in a couple of slabs there, and then there we have it. And over here it's probably going to have to be a little different-ish, maybe. We need to have a hopper at the back there so we can connect everything up. But there you go. That's pretty cool. You can always replace that with a stair, but I kind of like that little hole it creates. So underneath this chest right here, we need to get the nether wart out. So we got our hopper, and that's going to go into a dropper, which is facing inwards, like so. I'm pretty sure. It might need to be changed later, but I don't think so. So we should have our basic setup like so, and from there we should be able to move on. Okay, so I've got the ingredients, and let's just throw these in here, like so. There we are. That's labeling them all, and just throwing a softness potion there to make it good. So let's just chuck these on. Bam, 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 bam. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now it's starting to come to life. Now I almost forgot. We need to have our chests in the ground for our glass bottles. So we have our chest to trap chest. Actually, I think I did it the other way around. Oops. So chest to trap chest to chest. Because trap chests cost a little more than a regular chest because they require tripwire hooks. So we want to make sure we have chest, trap, chest. Alright, and from there we're going to have our hoppers like this. We're going to lead them out. Alright, so you can see they're pointing all the way like that. And actually these ones aren't supposed to be pointing like that. We're going to use these extra hoppers, and they're supposed to be pointing outwards like this. So we can see that anything that goes into this chest will come out here. Then we're going to have droppers facing downwards, and this is going to go into our stream, which is going to have our things leading into the brewing stand. So all the way over here, underneath the dropper here, we're going to have a hopper. This is going to feed right into the brewing stand. Alright, and now we're going to have a hopper on the side there, and when we have our water stream along here, everything will flow into the side. So here you can use ice or regular blocks. I'm going to use ice here because ice is a lot quicker, and it will probably brew my things faster if I used ice, because, you know, if I use the ice it will get everything there and, you know, all that stuff. And I'm just going to make sure we put slabs around it just to make sure that no light enters the ice. You never know, you might have some leaking light sources around, so you just try and block it off as best as you can. That hopper's transparent, so be careful of that. And we want to throw in our water source there. Alright, so everything should be flowing nicely to there. Perfect. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, so now time for the actual redstone behind things. Now we're going to probably put in the water streams after. I'm going to start this redstone right away because I feel like it. So what we're going to do is underneath each button we need a redstone dust line. So just like the old design, we have a redstone dust piece underneath each button. So as you can see, we fire that, activates the dispenser, and also activates this line. Now this line is going to be activated by all the buttons, so we can see right here everything needs to be activated there. There we are. So there's a redstone dust piece underneath each button, so we can just take a quick look at that, and we should be able to see that it is exactly like what we want it to be. Yeah, and also it powers the glass bottle dispensers, which is also pretty cool as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to put blue wool underneath it, so yeah, blue wool it is. There we are. That's our blue wool. Now it also needs to go and power up this right here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have a block. Then here we're going to have a repeater, and this is going to go right around and power the dropper there. So as soon as you push the button, activates your ingredient, activates the glass bottles, and activates the nether wart. This all happens at the push of the button. So that's pretty cool, as you can see. Now we need a little gap here so we can get the ingredients through, so don't worry about that. Now next up, let's get on to getting some of these water streams in. So now onto the water stream part. Now for this you can use ice or regular blocks. I do still recommend ice blocks because they are a lot faster. So we're just going to have our ice blocks along like this, and we're going to just lead everything into it like so. So we're going to have our stream coming in like this. We just need to make sure everything doesn't go off everywhere. So we're gonna plop our water stream there. Bam! So everything will go into that hopper, and here is where we'll have our ingredients float there too. So we have 7 there, and we can just fit in another source block there. Alright, we can put a sign back there so it doesn't go crazy. And we'll throw in our water source. It goes straight to the edge. Alright, pretty cool. Just having some edges in, just in case the items go flying off into outer space. And here is where we want to also get the stream going. Now, if you're going to use regular blocks, what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to bring this side upwards a bit more so that it can slowly come down. So you might have your blocks like this, and then 8 blocks later it will go down, and so on until it reaches the very end where the brewing stand is. So unfortunately that's what you're going to have to do if you don't use ice, but yes, that is, you know, what you're going to have to do. So here we are, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do here is just connect this all up, and now what I'm going to do here actually is split this into 3 parts. So we got our stream coming here. It doesn't exactly reach all the way there, so I'm just going to place a sign there, and looks like glitchy water, and just have a extra block there to continue the stream along to the very end. So that's our water streams complete for that. It does have that little annoying water sound, but I guess that, you know, you're going to have to deal with it. Just deal with it. Alright, so just going to throw in some slabs underneath the ice just to make sure it doesn't melt. I also suggest doing that if you like to put torches around it, around your wiring, to make sure nothing spawns in. You also might want to make sure that the ice doesn't melt at the same time too, so make sure you got something covering around all that. Alright, now we're going to move on to the lime circuit. To begin our lime circuit, we're going to go down underneath here. So right here where we got our blue circuit, we're going to take the input from our buttons and things, and we're going to place a repeater right along the side of that dropper, like so. This is going to go into a block, and basically from here we're going to get the redstone dust line from there. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to get this all the way up here so we can power the dropper. So as soon as we push a button, it's going to turn this off, and then after the long seconds of delay from the button, it will turn back on and will activate. Now along here we just need to wire all of these up. So we're just going to have redstone torches alternating kind of like this. There we are. And then we're going to do this type of redstone torch here. Again, bam. And for the last one, we got the redstone torch standing up like that. And we just wire that up like so. Block on top to make sure the wire doesn't connect up. So as you can see, all of these get turned off if we activate this. All of these get turned off, and then they all get turned on. Now if you flip these levers, as you can see, if we turn that on, it does nothing because these are already powered by the levers, and these do absolutely nothing because they're already powered by the redstone torches. Now all you need to remember is to not mess with these during the brewing. Like 5 seconds after you've pushed a button, don't flip one of these, otherwise you might get unexpected things coming through. Alright, so that's the lime circuit complete. Now we need to move on to the actual brewing stand's timer and all of that stuff. Okay, so we're almost getting to the completion of our brewing room. Now what we need to do is to get our hopper output from our brewing stand. So we have a hopper facing outwards towards the entrance of our brewing room, like so. And here is where we're going to have our minecart sitting at. So let's get that going right there. Bam! Pretty cool. Alright, we're just going to have a block right there, and this will lead off into wherever we need to go, which is there, which we'll get to later. Now first off, we want to get this going. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a comparator output from here. This is going to make start our timer, so as soon as something runs out, it will start off the timer. So we're going to have a comparator and have a repeater. This is going to go into a block with a redstone dust piece right underneath that block. And then next to that, we're going to have another block with another piece of redstone. Here is where we're going to just get that, and we're going to bring it back to the hopper, like so. Repeater facing the hopper, then a block, and a comparator coming from the redstone dust. So we have something like that. So if you didn't catch that, just pause the video, and let's continue. So, now let's continue on. Now we're going to have a comparator coming from this redstone dust at the edge, and this is going to go into a block here. Now since we got all this ice around here, we don't want that to melt, so we're just going to cover that all up. There we are, and we see that this block here also prevents the ice from melting. We just need some there too. Or yeah, still make sure to be careful about the brewing stands and hoppers. They're transparent, so light can pass through those hoppers, so just be careful again. Another warning. Now here we're going to have 6 more comparators, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome, like that. And we're going to bring that signal downwards, like so. Now we're going to have 2 redstone dust pieces like so. This is important, so that we lower the signal strength of the redstone dust by 1. It will be 15 here, then 14, and then this will be our comparator clock, where we'll just continue this all the way back here. Now this should be a total of 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. And that gives you a total of 15 comparators on the actual timer. That's pretty cool. So as soon as something's in there, everything flashes on. That's our timer. And we take something out. It will take 20 seconds for this comparator clock to run out of steam, and then eventually turn off the hopper. At this point in time, the brewing stand should have finished brewing that last ingredient. So yeah, pretty cool. So that purple circle right there is Panda 4994 on the JL servers. Well, yeah, it's Panda's design right here. This is the design he came up with. I just modified it so it could swirl around a bit. And here is my slight modification to it as well here, to fit this brewing room design. Right here we're going to have a redstone dust. Alright, so right here we have the, where is it? The comparator right there. You can just see it. It pokes into this purple block, and that activates the redstone dust on this magenta block. Now here, going to bring this up, have a redstone torch right there, and we're going to have 4 repeaters. So 1, this is going to go into a block, then we're going to have, there we are, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 2, that's total 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do is have redstone dust right there, and bam. So that should keep this hopper powered on by default, so anything in there already won't get sucked out. And as soon as everything's finished brewing, this will turn off and then turn back on after everything is complete. Now moving on to the orange circuit. Right here is where we're going to get the output from the hopper there, and tell the minecart to go once this is empty. So basically what we need to do is we need to get around there, and as you can see we've got the repeater going to the hopper, and then we have a comparator. Now here we can just replace that with a block. We can just replace those with blocks. We don't need them at the moment, and this basically goes around all the way right here, like so. There we are. So we have the comparator going into this block. Here we're going to have 2 repeaters on 4 ticks of delay. This is going to be on 2 ticks of delay right there. And that just goes right back into the minecart. So as soon as we get 3 things in there, so for example we throw in, whoa, that didn't work out as planned. doesn't work at the moment. So yeah, this looks like a problem. Looks like it's being powered. Oh, looks like I did not do that right. You're not supposed to put a block there. You're supposed to do that. There we are. Now that's a lot better. Now as soon as we throw in our 3 items there, it should work a lot more smoothly, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to at the moment. Oh, I see the problem. Now let's just quickly fix the problem here. I've already done this wrong, so hopefully you guys, apologies guys, because my mistake for doing this incorrectly. Bring this out, then we have the repeater on 2, and then we have the block right there. Alright, now it should be fine. As you can see, comparator, repeater, repeater, block, redstone dust, repeater, and we can test that out by throwing 3 items in there. It should get sucked through and sent along its way. The only thing is it's this repeater that's blocking it at the moment, so you know, can't do much about that. Okay, so it's time to build the actual track for the storage minecart. So if you built a drop elevator, you probably don't need to worry about this part, but if you decide to follow this way, then you should probably follow carefully. Alright, so we're going to try and build ourselves something to go up. Put a rail there. Alright, this should be pretty good. Something just simple. You don't need something too complicated and over the top. So I think I remember the track I had from the design I showed you, so I should be able to get this up right. And what we want it to do is we want it to come along right here, right on top of that. Yeah, right on top of this. Alright, so we want to bring it along. Oh, this is perfect right here. Alright, let's just cover that up. And there we are. Alright, and what we need to do is power everything. So let's do that. There we are, and there we are. So now if we have the rail set up like this, it's gonna come out along here, and it's gonna stay on this hopper long enough for 3 items to come out. So let's try this again. If we have our 3 items in there and we send this along, there we are. It should have put everything back in here. So you can see it's just that little rail slanting upwards like that makes all the difference. So if you wanted to see how to do that again, bam. Alright, and then you just break that rail and place a block. And so now it's slanting upwards. Pretty cool. So that's about the rail complete. And now your whole brewing system is now all finished. Pretty simple and easy. And there you go. So you guys can go test this thing out. I do suggest it. Just in case you might have messed some of the wiring up or something like that. So keep that in mind. So you might want to change something. But that's it for the tutorial. So hope you guys enjoyed. There will be a world download in the description just in case you missed something up and you want to double check the wiring and all that. So world download in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day.